Tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America, think about it.
Make America, he almost said make America great again, but he couldn't say, he said think about it. That's always a Biden go-to non sequitur, right? Think about it. Anyway, look folks.
I want to speak to you tonight about the need for us to lower the temperature in our politics. And to remember, while we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors. We're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're fellow Americans. We must stand together. Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back, take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke with him last night. I'm grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was killed. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter, a hero, sheltering his family from those bullets. We should all hold his family and all those injured in our prayers. Earlier today, I spoke about an ongoing investigation. We do not know the motive of the shooter yet. We don't know his opinions or affiliations. We don't know whether he had help or support, or if he communicated with anyone else. Law enforcement professionals, as I speak, are investigating those questions. Tonight, I want to speak to what we do know. A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America. We've traveled before throughout our history. Violence has never been the answer. Whether it's with members of Congress of both parties being targeted and shot, or a violent mob attacking the Capitol on January 6th, or a brutal attack on the spouse of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, or information and intimidation on election officials, or the kidnapping plot against the sitting governor, or an attempted assassination on Donald Trump. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever.
Never.
Period.
Violence is for every other place in the world, and we're supposed to do the violence.
No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized.
Yeah, the normalization of violence should happen in Gaza, in the Middle East, in Southeast Asia, in Eastern Europe, in South America. Not here, okay? And not against one of our ruling class elites.
You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated.
Perfect example of Parenti, right? Parenti's, violence for who? Violence that, promotes and sustains the privileged social relations of society is deemed desirable, and violence that upends the privileged social relations of society is deemed undesirable. So we have to go in front of the camera and talk about a former president getting his ear grazed when this man is literally responsible for 200,000 innocent civilians dying, at least. It's time to cool it down, America.
Yes.
How dare you get a little violent?
The stakes in this election are enormously high. I've said it many times that the choice in this election we make in this election is going to shape the future of America and the world for decades to come. I believe that with all my soul. I know that millions of my fellow Americans...
You're about to be a soul. You're about to free your soul.
Some have a different view as to the direction our country should take. Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, or God forbid, a killing field. I believe politics ought to be a arena for peaceful debate.
What about a killing strip?
To make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. We stand for an America, not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace. All of us now face a time of testing as the election approaches. And the higher the stakes, the more fervent the passions become. This places an added burden on each of us to ensure that no matter how strong our convictions, we must never descend into violence. The Republican convention will start tomorrow. I have no doubt they'll criticize my record and offer their own vision for this country. I'll be traveling this week making the case for our record and the vision, my vision of the country, our vision. I'll continue to speak out strongly for our democracy, stand up for our Constitution and the rule of law, to call for action at the ballot box, no violence on our streets. That's how democracy should work. We debate and disagree. We compare and contrast the character of the candidates, the records, the issues, the agenda, the vision.
That's right.
for
And in
America.
our case, there's no material difference between Biden or Trump.
We resolve our differences at the battle box. That's how we do it.
battle
At
box?
Not with bullets.
You got to make your decision at the battle box.
The power to change America should always rest in the hands of
The battle box, and even the subtitles got
The
it.
assassin. The path forward through competing visions of the campaign should always be resolved peacefully, not through acts of violence.
God, what has our country become, descending into acts of violence? Can you believe? The United States is not violent?
We're blessed to live in the greatest country on earth, and I believe that with every soul, every power of my being.
With every soul. How many souls do you have, President Biden?
Tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America, think about it.
Make America, he almost said make America great again, but he couldn't say. He said, think about it. That's always a Biden go-to non sequitur, right? Think about it. Anyway, look, folks.
What's made America so special? Here in America, everyone must be treated with dignity and respect, and hate must have no safe harbor.
That's right, unless you're brown, black, and poor. Otherwise, we must treat everyone with respect, okay?
Here in America, we need to get out of our silos, where we only listen to those with whom we agree, where misinformation is rampant, where foreign actors fan the flames of our division.
Foreign actors fan the flames. I'm surprised he got through that alliteration there.
To shape the outcomes consistent with their interests, not ours. Let's remember, here in America, while unity is the most elusive of all goals right now, nothing is more important for us now than standing together. We can do this. From the beginning, our founders understood the power of passion. So they created a democracy that gave reason and balance a chance to prevail over brute force.
Create a democracy, that's it.
That's the American we must be. An American democracy where arguments are made in good faith. An American democracy where the rule of law is respected. An American democracy where decency, dignity, fair play aren't just quaint notions, but living, breathing realities. We owe that to those who come before us, to those who gave their lives for this country. We owe that to ourselves. We owe it to our children and our grandchildren.
That's right, more for me.
Let's never lose sight of who we are. Let's remember we are the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Yeah, anything more than,
President Biden
2.5
speaking
minutes,
from the
he would have
Oval
started to
Office,
derail.
tone, humility, but also intention, saying it is time
Wow.
to pull it down.
Look
That
at the
disagreement
brave,
is
obstinate.
inevitable, but that-
Listen to the brave, obstinate press. The brave, obstinate suppress. Listen to them, how they adulate our king with his humility. Praise him. Praise be Biden, the unifier. Biden's a uniter, okay? He's not a divider, all right? What did y'all think of that?
Never rise to violence. It was a little bit of
Never
politics,
rise to violence.
a lot of a
That's right.
presidential-
Never rise to violence. That's what we do to other people, not to ourselves. I love that President Biden has to call a fucking press conference to address the nation because one of his ruling coalition members has got a ear grazed by a bullet. But like I say, we can be beheading babies with javelin missiles by the tens of thousands, and there's no alarm. There's no emergency. Nothing there to criticize. Biden is a damn good Republican. I mean, nowhere do you see the ratchet effect taking place than listening to Biden. You will know nothing and be happy is the slogan of the media. I know. They just basically rubber stamp everything that happens, right? They set the agenda. This whole situation is just a one big circus. I couldn't agree more. It's just a spectacle. It's all theater. I mean, it's all trash. Took Biden 3 years to divide our country. You're an oligarchy with extra step. Well, I was sort of maybe thinking, I mean, I didn't think that this was going to happen, but I thought it'd been funny if he dropped out. He's like, I'm waiting for him to drop out. That's a good little Biden emoji, by the way. I like that. I can't believe Biden had his VP shot. Yeah, Vice President Trump. He was just vouching for Trump a couple days ago.
Nixon ordered Cambodian genocide. Sent cruise missiles to Sudan, people died. Obama gave the orders to do drone strikes. Invaded Nicaragua in '85.